How are you? Congratulations for your new
All
album.
right, cool, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's good to have some music out.
Yeah, it's been a long it's been a while since you recorded your last CD.
It's been a while, that Boomerang album. We toured, after its release for almost 2.5 years, almost 3 years. It was almost like Appetite for Destruction. It kept going. So, but then the pandemic happened, and a lot of things happened. Everything stopped. But here it is. So I'm just glad that I got it out.
Yeah, that's the most important. The album came out, so and it's a great album. I was wondering, you released this album without Big Motor and probably different musicians. So why was that?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have a different band together with me this time around, and I just wanted to kind of rein it in a little bit, reel it in, so to speak, and just do a straight ahead kind of, just road record, something you want to put in and it's it's got its heat, it's got its turns, and it's got its stoplights, and it's got its step on the gas moments too. So it's just something that was, I needed to put out just for me, just to reel it in and gear up for the next one.
And so Chris Frazier and Coco Powell are gonna be the band you're gonna be touring on the.
No, Chris Frazier is in Foreigner right now. He we've done a lot of recording, and he's been on my albums before, and we've toured extensively together. So I wish Chris were to, but maybe in the future. But as of now, no. I have the musicians I'm working with now are in the if you see on the credits of the CD, the track with Charlie Musselwhite. There's the two musicians there, Chris Smith on the bass and Demi Solario on the drums. So
Okay,
that
yeah,
should be.
okay. I didn't saw that. I thought the Chris and Coco were playing the whole album. Yeah, actually, I love that instrumental track with Charlie and.
They played the whole album except for that one track.
Okay. Actually, that one track, I really like it, and I was wondering how that collaboration happened.
Oh well, I've known Charlie for a long time, and I couldn't think of anything more than, I wanted to have some harmonica on a track, and um, he came to mind immediately, just because we always run into each other when we're on the road, and when we're at a festival or we're at a hotel, and or we're in Mississippi. I stop by, but I just really wanted him on this track, and the heat that he throws, the way he plays, it's just got his mojo all over it, and I think it was a real contributing factor to it. And so it starts on the porch and it ends on the porch. That's all you need to know. Where it goes in between, that's our job.
That's nice to hear. And is there any other collaboration you made like to have in the future for any other album?
Oh, sure, man. I mean, it just depends. I know, I've talked to Billy Gibbons about some stuff. That'd be a nice thing to do. But as it stands right now, we're looking forward to just getting on the road and making some music.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel that you are more like a live musician than a studio musician, right? I mean, I think you spend most of the time of the year touring, right?
I am, but that's a good thing. I mean, I'm on the road by choice, and I have the luxury to be on the road 365 days if I want. And I wanted that, and I've been doing that for over 30 years. So, but that's what keeps me young, and well, I look like I'm 21.
You look great.
See you later, buddy. I'm off this mustache, so don't give me shit.
Ah, no, you look great. I like your look, man. It's cool. Your hat, that's perfect.
How's things where you're at? How's the weather and all that?
Oh, here in Spain is great. Here we still like kind of summer, so it's very hot. So
I
we're
miss
okay.
I miss Spain. I do. I that's one thing that I can't wait to sit down and just have a nice cold beer and say, ah, España.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the food is great here too.
You guys have the right recipe.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I wish you come to. One of the questions I was going to ask you later was about the touring. If you had any plans to come to Spain and Europe.
yes, of course, of course. I have a feeling that when the tours are being built right now as we speak. So really, what's going to happen is as soon as it starts coming together, we'll post it, and it'll start from there. But I have a feeling we'll probably start in the States. Um, um, but you never know. I mean, if it starts, it's hopefully I can see you in Spain this year. I mean, it'd be great. But if I don't, then it would be at the top of the year. But all I know is that I'm ready wherever the compass takes me. So we'll see. The magic of the touring is going to begin. So hopefully I get there sooner than later.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope we can see you soon here and listen to your new stuff.
Yeah, now
Well,
that we travel and musicians can play music again, and safely somewhat. So it's been kind of harrowing, and everything stopped. It took a long time for things to get back in motion. You know.
yeah,
So
I was wondering when the pandemic happened, for a musician like you that have so many gigs and are so much part of the year on the road. How was it? How did you change your way life?
oh, man, I don't even know what to do with a big bar of soap. You know, I uh, I was just sitting there looking at my guitar cases, going, "Where's the bus?" So it took a while to stop my wheels spinning from spinning. I'm just very very accustomed to it's even now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, I wake up and I'm ready to go. I mean, lobby call. Let's go.
So how different is life when you stay home? What do you still play music all day, or you do completely different things the days you are there?
Um, no, no, no. I mean, everything's the same. I mean, it's all good. I play music all the time, so it's all I do. That and wrench on my Cadillac. I got my own Cadillac. That's a good thing. I can drive my Cadillac and down the road and enjoy that. That's something I don't get to do very often. Um, and I got a 1958 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. So that's the other woman, you know.
And do you write do you write more music when you're at home or when you're on the road, or that it doesn't matter? You just compose anytime.
Yeah, I like to keep those channels open. So, I mean, of course, there's Inspirato, but at the same time, when you're on the road, you get ideas, and I do it, and I'm always thinking, and of course, when you're in it, you know, different things happen, and you never know. So, but I don't go back home and just look around and just go, well, ain't nothing to write about here. You know, I mean, because my mind is where it goes, and you know, believe me, I've been on the road the whole time.
And how do you write? I mean, you record ideas on your phone, or you're the kind of guy that write things on paper, scratch, or memory?
All the above. Cocktail napkins, vomit bags, you know, gum wrappers, my hand. But yeah, you know, I used to have. I'm dating myself. But I used to have one of those little micro. Remember the micro cassettes?
Yeah.
And man, I got just piles of those things. You know, and you could just hear my guitar just be like, you know, and you could just hear the bus in the background or a backstage, and just 2 seconds of this and 5 seconds of that, or a minute of an idea. And by the end of one of those tapes, you hear like something is brewing, and you know, you listen to that stuff, revisit it, and sometimes, you know, words come before the grooves. Sometimes the groove follows just something. I remember I heard somebody overheard somebody in a booth in a restaurant down south. He said something, and I just liked the way it sounded, and I wrote that song that night. You know, it's like, oh man, she didn't come home. She done me dirty. And I was like, oh, I was like, woo. One.
And how about the lyrics? Do you tend to try to explain stories of yours, or you just imagine things that are how do
Oh
you manage?
no, this is all from experience, man. I don't talk anything but truth. And the thing is that the way I put it out there, sometimes I'll put myself in like almost a third person, like I'm talking about the way it can be or how it is, or in a situation like that, you know, or I'm putting it in as, I don't like to say, you know, me, I was this, but there's enough of that, you know, it's about me, but as a listener, we're all human beings, man. We've all gone through similar things, you know, to what degree, what street it was on, what bar, what town, what hotel, what alley, when, where, with who. That's organically up to the listener. And some people, you know, the backstory never needs to be, you know, understood, because what a song means to somebody is how it hits them and how they relate to it, even if it's not about what it's about for me, you know. And like I like to have let the songs be open enough that it's obviously coming from me, but it's saying something about something you can relate to, you know.
I was thinking now that I mean, because you play a lot of blues, even you play a lot of rock too. So, but we always have had the idea of the typical bluesman from the old times that was all day heartbroken and drinking whiskey and drunk. And I would like to know, how is the reality of a blues rock musician like you in 2023 compared to the idea that many people may have of what's like a blues musician?
Well, I don't, you know, when people say the word blues, they think, you know, low down and brokenhearted, that kind of thing. It's a feeling, man. It's a feeling. It's just, you know, you can sing, you can sing about yourself feeling as good as can be. You can sing about being low on cigarettes, and you can sing about getting gas to go down to get cigarettes, you know. So it's all, you know, it doesn't have to be about anything low down, because last time I checked, you know, the blues drops a hammer. You know, it doesn't have to, you know, sound like your typical song. You know, it's in anything I do. When I personally, I keep my one foot on the highway and one in the mud. I blur my respect for the tradition and my love for traditional Delta Piedmont country, Texas style blues. All that is in me, and when I push it to my voice and I blur the line between the blues and the rock, it's my sound, and that's my blues. That's the way I do it, and that's everyone has their own way of singing their song, and that's really what the blues is. It's about the human condition. It's about singing it. And so, what do I feel about being a blues guy? Is it really depressing? There's nothing depressing about singing the blues, man, because everyone gets it. And in the morning, the sun will, you know.
And you mentioned your voice, and I was wondering also, with so many gigs you have and so much road, how the voice affects you and conditions you to the life. I mean, that you're bringing. You need to rest a lot for the voice, or you just do regular life. And
You mean you're talking about my
yeah,
voice, or
yeah, for not losing your voice, that you stay, up till late, talking with friends, a lot of volume in the bars. I mean,
shit, only half of it. um, no, I mean, it's kind of strange to say, but you have to be a little broken to continue, and you have to know yourself. If 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 your voice is healing, then you're going to lose it. If you get it into its conditioned state of where you're using it, you know how to use your voice. Anything can happen. You can lose your voice from air conditioning or somebody sick. Hey, knock on wood, but I mean that stuff is just life. But unless somebody breaks a leg or snaps their arm off, the show goes on.
mm-hmm. That's good. Listening to the album, there was a very nice keyboards from David Scholes, and you have very nice background vocals. But I saw that you mainly play usually as a trio live, and I was wondering, did you ever thought of bringing a keyboard player for your live, shows, or maybe a horn section or something like that?
Thinking about it and having something like that, I can see doing like maybe like a certain section of a tour where I have that. But in general, I like to keep it very much like a skin and bones, a skeleton crew. I've always when you listen to Taste, or Rory Gallagher, there's a rawness that just is exuding from that, that the guitar, together, us, you become third person up there, and it's a very powerful thing when you have keyboards or background singers. It changes it. It changes it. It changes the approach on the guitar, and so if I was to tour that way and have other musicianship up there, it would definitely curve my approach, and I would work with it. But I'm so used to keeping it just a raw trio that I think that with the way I play it and what you're getting live, that those subtle things that are added or embellishing on a track because I felt it would contribute, you don't miss it live. You won't miss it live. To have it, yeah, it'd be something else. It'd be a different animal. This one, yeah. I'm keeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and probably going with a trio lets you more freedom to change set lists from one night to the night, or you mainly keep the same set list when you go on tour, or you are free. You decide whether the day you want to play some songs or some other songs. What do you?
Oh, look at me, man! I never play the same song the same way twice.
I think we're losing a little bit the signal.
There's structure to the song, but then there's freedom, and wherever I take it. Can you hear me?
I lost what you said for like a while, but now I hear you again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just saying, I never play the same song the same way twice. So there's freedom and there's, an unspoken energy that happens live. I don't want to hear musicians
Mhm.
or a band sound exactly like their record. If you listen to any Johnny, let's say Jimi Hendrix, you listen to his song recorded, and then you hear him play it live. It's a completely different animal, man.
Mhm.
And that's what's cool about it because that's how that song that night. You know,
Mhm.
and that's being live music's all about.
Mhm.
So, song set lists,
Mhm.
I don't really use them.
Yeah.
You know,
And, and
um,
actually, yeah.
hey, start out with this and then there may be a let's do this song and that song, but that's about it because I know how I'm going to get in there and how I'm going to get out sometimes, and then what happens in between is the magic of the show, so to
Mhm.
speak.
Yeah, and
Keeps it fresh.
actually, you have a great live performance. I mean, your energy. I mean, you just anyone who sees the show of you know that you're very strong performing live. And I was wondering how do you bring that to recording an album? I mean, because it's very special playing in front of an audience, but how you try to keep the same energy playing when you record the album?
Well, that's a very good question. It's really important that when you go into the studio, in my opinion, it's very easy to lose the magic. You get it can sterilize the song completely. Um, there's also a lot. I record very honestly, straight ahead, and I have the musicianship set up as a band, making eye contact, playing the song, having getting the grease on it, and when we capture it, we capture it, and then we embellish off of that and add here and there. So, um, but studio being a success in the studio, translating in the studio is something that is different than playing live. You have to be very articulate in knowing what you're doing, how you're going to execute it, but you also have to be natural about it and not overthink it. And that's something that I understand. Organic energy, that fire can easily get lost in the studio. So there's a big difference between a live drummer and a
Mhm.
studio drummer. A
Mhm.
drummer that can and perform in the studio and play live and have the consistency and the musical conversation and the execution in the studio to translate on tape is a different animal.
Mhm. Actually, when I read the credits of the album and I saw, and you're talking about the drummer, and I read Chris Fraser on drums, my man went straight to Steve Vai's Passion and Warfare album, which is one of the albums that for many guitar players has been ultra influential. And you opened many years ago for Steve, and I remember the first time I heard your name. It was probably 30 years ago or something, and I don't know the dates, but I remember that you opened for Steve Vai, and someone told me, and I was wondering how important was Steve Vai for your career when you were starting.
Well, when Steve came into the picture, he had heard of me, he heard my music, and then my management to be and asked if I could put Steve Vai on the list. And I said, of course, of course. So that's how we met. And he, we hit it off immediately. his appreciation for what I was doing and his understanding of it. Really, we just thrust us in the direction of getting on board and being an opening act with him, and it just turned into a tandem tour. And we ended up touring the States twice and Europe 3 times. It was a lot of good stuff and a lot of great stuff. As a person, as a player, and as a mentor, as a friend, he's a great human being.
Oh.
Well, crazy, but we're good like that.
Well, I got the chance to interview him, and he was very great, very nice, very calm, very, it was a pleasure talking to him. And going back to the beginning of your career, I would like to know when you started to play guitar, and if how was the thing that you started playing slide guitar? Because it's not that common for guitarists to be a slide player. So if you could tell me a little bit your beginning, when you decided to use a slide, how did you learn it?
I started playing slide guitar because it was I'm a left-handed. I play backwards. I play right-handed for a lefty. Long story. Never took a lesson. Just learned by. But my appreciation for blues and listening to blues, it was a matter of time. I started picking up slide probably around, I don't know, 13. When I really, remember starting to play slide, and it was just an organic thing that I really loved. The essence of the human condition and the human voice almost being portrayed, the emotional content of it. So,
did you have any teachers, or you learned by yourself, like figuring out?
Learn by ear. Never took a lesson.
And actually,
I'm a left-handed guy that plays backwards.
I'm left-handed playing left-handed. So, and I saw you always use 2 capos in the 2nd fret. Could you tell me a little bit? What is that?
It's got a truer bite, and it's it gives the way I hit my guitars, I'll take it right off. So these capos, 1 is enough, but it ensures when I put in 2 that it stays truer than as true as I can get it to stay in tune and to hold and keep its brightness.
And yeah, but I mean, the reason why it's in the 2nd fret, I was wondering why, because I think you have it on the 2nd fret, but you're playing in E tuning, right?
That's correct.
So it's because of the strings, or
heavy gauge strings. I use even though I play electric. It's an electric guitar. I play with acoustic strings, so 1359.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit of this resonator guitar you have? How do you have? It's much different from a more common guitar, electric guitar. I mean, for the distortion feedback, the noises.
Of course. I'm the only one who takes that guitar and did something with it to push it into the electric world. My cutaway, the black guitar, that's La Pistola. And that's my signature resonator. What I do to my guitar, the levels and the volume is kind of my secret. But with the signature guitar, you get the pickup, the custom wound humbuckers, um, wound up to a single coil sound. Um, and because I'm a lefty, I keep my volume knob. I don't know if you've noticed on the top of my guitar, and
Okay.
that's my volume. My volume is my tone.
Oh,
So I just dip it. So it goes between my tone is dictated by volume.
about your influences.
Yeah.
Did you mostly listen to slide guitarists, or do you have any main guitarists that were really influential for you?
Yeah, it depends what generation. I mean, what generation we're talking about. What like the 20s or 30s or today or I mean any name that you can think of as a player as a guitarist, for example, that you know by name, that you know by thousands and thousands of players that
Mhm.
we all stand on the shoulders of, and the the is grand. You know, it's just as the day is long.
Mhm.
I'm inspired from anything from Charlie Patton and Bucko White and Barbie Bob in the 30s to
Mhm.
um, Jimmy and Johnny and Rory, and you know John Hammond. I mean, I love I just love all sides of the guitar. There's a lot of great players out there, man.
You play so many concerts a year and touring that I don't know. I don't know how much time do you have to you actually go to listen concerts, and if you do so, and
Well, I mean, I'm normally around live music so much that it's rare that, I have time to go to shows. Um, but if it's a big festival, with these rock festivals, and I get to see, I make sure I know who's on the bill and do what I can to see folks and stuff. But since I've been here off the road, I really haven't gone to many shows. I actually saw Steve play. He came to town, so I went. Last time I was in that venue here in Vegas, I was playing with him on the stage, so it was kind of funny. So that was the last time I went to a show to actually, you know, get my ticket. I didn't buy the ticket. I just got my ticket, but but that's it. I don't stand line. I don't do good in lines. I don't like to stand in line. I
well,
like to
yeah.
be on the other side.
Also, do you prefer to play in big venues, or you're more like a small club?
No, I mean you get the same out of me. I like the intimacy. I look at a bigger venue as intimate as possible. I like to bring the there's no stage. I try to take that away.
Mhm.
And that's I like to people as far back as possible to feel that they're close. So I always play for the people. So you know I but it's the same temperature for me. So it doesn't matter. Intimate is something that comes from me.
Mhm.
And size of the venue doesn't matter.
Mhm. And you hang a lot with your fans. Do you take I mean, many considerations from when they ask you to play certain songs, or what is your relation with the fans?
Oh well, it's very important to me. I love to hang out, talk about music, and shake hands, and taste an evening with my friends every time I'm there. It's a new experience every night. But I like to say I'm very very without any effort. I love speaking with anyone who came to a show to listen to my music. You know, it's an honor for me.
That's beautiful. And what about the social networks? Are you a lot into social media networks or?
Me? Well, not so much, man. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's just I like to have other people that are with me doing that, and that kind of keeps the timeline going, and on a tour. I like it. I like it being there. I'm not that good at doing so, so I'm just. It's like to sit there and be on my. I'm not that guy. But everyone else is. So I have it. I have stuff. When we're on the road, it's documented, and then we'll post stuff from pictures from backstage or something like that, and here and there, and what's going on, and that's not enough. I do interact with people who say hi to me and reach out and um, you know wonder. I try to get back to as many fans as possible. Yeah.